How's it going, guys? What's up tonight? And welcome to LIH Voice. As you come in, please hit the like button for those who will be watching during the live and those who will be watching after the live. So, tonight, guys, we got another hot show for you guys and two really good guests. So, I want to ask that you interact. And as you come in, please share the live with others. On this show, guys, we're going to be sharing in a video, which this video went semi-viral. And I think this is a video that, how would I say that? Watching this video, before I even pass my opinion, guys, I want to share it. That way, you guys will see it and be able to share an opinion about this upload. And as you know, it goes on, I'm going to introduce our guests that will be on the show before playing the video. So as you come in, guys, please share this live with others. Interact. Let me know, guys, if you guys able to see me, hear me well. Please let me know. So I'm going to bring in our guests and allow them to introduce themselves before we get into the actual show, guys. Come on. Hello, Mr. Jinx. How's it going?
Everything's well in yourself.
All is well. I want to say it's a pleasure to have you on the show. And I thank you for coming on the show and joining me here on LIH Voice.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Right. Stallion, how's it going?
Oh, it's doing good. Yeah, hanging out, enjoying life.
Awesome. So, Mr. Jinx, introduce yourself a little bit. Let the people know a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from?
All right. I reside here in Columbus, Ohio. Retired from the military. Then traveled the world a little taste. And, that's about all the frills, loving life at the most.
That's what's up. So, Stallion, you can reintroduce yourself as you are always frequently on the show with me before we get the show started.
Well, of course, I'm the Italian Stallion, a.k.a. the Gangster Bankster. And anybody that knows me, they know I'm very politically incorrect. And Chico knows it. If anybody knows I'm politically correct, it's Chico.
That was almost a perfect estimation of yourself.
Perfect, right? But you're a good guy though. You're a good guy. So guys, let's get into the show. We're gonna do a reaction to this. And ladies, please share and interact also. But before we even get the show started, I want to play a video for you guys. Why do men get so much poop from American women? Let's play this video first. Let's get into this live, guys.
Hey y'all. So I heard my husband's down the street cheating on me. So I'm sitting by the front door. I'm doodling. I took an X-Lax. I'm sitting by here. I'm shitting right here. So when he come home, I'ma throw all this motherfucking shit on him. That's damn right. I'ma throw this doo-doo rat motherfucking on him. So I'm right here doodling on the motherfucking bucket. So soon as he motherfucking come home, I'ma throw this doodoo on his motherfucking ass. So I want y'all to sit there and tag his motherfucking ass. Tell him your wife home shitting. Cause soon as he come home, this motherfucking shit right here, I'ma throw this whole goddamn pot of shit. Cause I done took me 5 motherfucking X-Lax. I took 5 X-Lax, so I'm doing. So when my husband come home, he gonna get a shitty deal. So please, yeah, do. Hold on. I'm Excellent. Oh shit. Hold on, y'all.
Say this is
Oh. Oh
Horrible.
shit. As soon as he come home, I'm throw this bucket of shit on him. Don't play with me. But y'all have a nice and prosperous day now, okay?
Oh, that y'all stank.
Bitch, you got me fucked up.
Ooh. Ooh. That dude stank.
Let me put a little water in it.
Oh,
This right here.
Don't put no more water in it.
I'm just finna.
Don't put no more water in it.
That shit stank as fuck.
I'm gonna throw up. He to the door. Hold on. He to the door. Oh shoot. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. She finna throw it. Oh, he to the door. He to the fucking door. He to the fucking. Hold on. I got it. Hold on, I'm on the floor. Hold on. Cause he can see us through that thing right there. Oh shit. She finna throw that shit on him. For real, bro. That shit so fucking stank. Oh, she threw that shit on him. Oh, shit. Hold on. Did you really just throw that shit on him?
You wanna be full of shit? Bitch, don't play with me, motherfucker. Bitch. Yeah, he full of shit. He wanna be full of shit.
So stank. Oh my God, I can feel it's still in my nose.
Bitch, he wanna be full of shit. Oh Lord, shit.
Here. No.
Oh shit, my fucking shit fucked up. Damn. Wait.
Oh, here. But he gonna have to take a whole bath of it. That ain't
Bitch wanna
worth
be
it.
full of shit.
Oh, that junk is so stank. I can still smell it. You threw that doodle on him for real.
Yeah, he wanna be
Oh
goddamn.
my God, you really threw that doodle on him for real.
He wanna be full of shit. Shit all on the goddamn.
That junk.
Motherfucker.
Ooh.
Let me see. Bitch, I'm going in the garage.
Where he at?
I don't know. Go out the other way, see where he at.
I want to say we've seen enough of this madness. I don't know what to say. Why do men get so much poop from American women? I mean, let's begin with Chico here. Chico, watching this video, what was going through your mind?
I have different emotions. The first one was disbelief, because there's a lot more going on than in that relationship. You're involving family members, and I can hear your kids in the background. So the level of disrespect you have for your home and for your children, and then involve another adult that thinks that this is funny, and I'm just, it's just amazing just when you think you've seen enough of social media and how people, when they angry, the things they're willing to do. And it's just unfortunate that now this has been put out there for the world to see. And nothing's good going to come out of that. Nothing's good going to come out of that. So I don't know. I have a lot of feelings towards when a man chooses to marry a woman, he really wants to marry her for life. And in a relationship, I think when a man is feeling like he's not appreciated or he's not getting his needs met, then makes him into the sense, I'm not saying it's right, but he will seek whatever he's lacking from his relationship from someone else. And it's obvious that she knew. And instead of trying to figure out what's missing in her relationship with her man, she chooses to take this route. So I don't know. I know this can't be the end of this story. It's got to be other things that happen right after this situation. So it's just sad that it's going to get real ugly real fast.
Wow. So let's go to Stallion. Stallion, what was going through your mind with this video? What were you thinking?
Well, it kind of validates why I got a passport. It's just another element what validates it. I'm sorry, the toxic environment we're in here in the United States, aka the Matrix, is so bad, and that's just one more example how far a woman would go, especially over something like that. I mean, my viewpoint is that if you're going to meet a woman, you need to lay out everything on the table, what you'd like, your desires, fantasies, whatever it is, that needs to be laid out from the beginning of the relationship. And if she can deal with it, fine. If she can't, then you keep it conditional or whatever it is, but don't go get married, having kids. I'm assuming those were his kids that were in there, or a child. Don't wait till it gets to that point, and then the person leaves out, and then your feelings are you get into your feelings, and then this is how you react. Even if it wasn't the first time, let's just say it was a couple times down the road. I mean, there has to be some sort of communication, dialogue, other than this being the end result, because nothing's going to turn out good in this. It was funny. It's funny to watch it, but as far as the reality goes, I mean, Chica could probably speak on this, but I don't know how I would react if a girl did that to me, if it was my wife or girlfriend. I really don't. But some guys are going to react differently to that.
Well, again, and on either side of that coin, if he says, "Hey, I'm done," and walk away, or he reacts in more of a violent way, there's no judge that's going to watch this in a sense and sympathize with his response at that moment. I think, because some people you wouldn't, I don't have thoughts of wanting to, have a relationship with anyone where this is what we do to each other. But saying that, I can understand why our jails are filled, and I can understand why, if you're angry with this person at this level, and you obviously are saying at this moment, this relationship is over. So let it be so. Do it in a proper way. But just going and doing the things that you're doing now, what I promise you, I know it's got to be another side to the story on how he reacted to not just taking the water hose and washing himself off, but then what happens when he does get into that house? Does he strike out at her? Does he strike out at the other adult that's in the house? Does he strike out on the kids? What's the other side of this coin? And it's something that you got to consider when you take actions like that. There's going to be a reaction. So, and again, far as the women, I think across the board, people want to validate their ignorance or their emotional imbalance, or there might be some mental illness to this. But I really can't sit up here and find nothing in my mind that says that this woman can watch this and be proud about what she just, this performance. I don't even see how she would be okay with this. And do you really, I just had this conversation. You know how much, you got a camera on you and you can use in the bathroom for the world to see. What in your mind says that this is okay? Now, I've done plenty of things in my day, but I can guarantee you, I ain't got nobody going on Facebook Live or YouTube with a camera while I'm taking a shit. I just can't see and the other woman is in the room like, oh, it smells, it stinks. I don't know who's worser in this video. It's like, oh, my
Not
mind is steady
everybody.
blown.
I think this video is a prime example. Not everyone is a friend or is
Yeah,
your friend,
yes, I like that. I
because
like that.
not one person thought enough to tell her, hey, this is wrong.
Yeah,
You shouldn't do that. At the end of the day, that's your husband, that's your man. And even though this is what it is, I think you should take the time out and actually talk to him instead of going to the extreme and doing this. Now, one of the things you mentioned, Chico, would you ask about wondering would he go back? Would you, as a man, would you guys, as a man, even consider working it out or ever go back into that home with this lady? Jesus Christ.
all
I'm
bets are
just
off.
saying.
All bets are off. I promise you. See, I know B well enough that it, to be where I'm at in my life right now, I had to have a lot of growth in. If you had got the younger Chico, oh God, it'd have been some terrible things that they would have been reporting. The older me will be just, there is no way, there's no words, there's no, it would probably take me a lifetime. And I know forgiveness is for the person. It's not so much for the person. You just need to have forgiveness in your spirit somewhere. You need to be able to get past things. But that'll be a hard one for me to get past. Oh God, I would have to move out the country. There is no way that somebody can be at the grocery store and say, hey man, ain't you the guy from the video? Oh, hell no. I am so
You can
far
forgive, but
on.
I don't think just because you forgive, you have to go back into
Oh
that
no,
situation.
I would never
No.
listen. It's already, when you make that choice to go outside your situation or your marriage, you're already saying at that moment that there's a lack of disrespect that you have for the person you're supposed to be tied to. But on that same token, I'm saying once she felt that the relationship has changed as an adult, you should try to understand, what are you not doing? What is missing in this relationship? But you totally did the opposite. And I think that's another level of understanding who you are as a person, your roles as a woman, your roles as a wife. There's a certain disrespect to the order of things. And once you get outside of that, you can't, that's something she has to change within herself, but again, I see that her lack of disrespect because she feel like I need to rebel or I need to respond to something that she still don't have the answer for. She still doesn't understand what need did this person have, or her husband, what he chose, and go right down the street. He didn't go across the state or the city. He was literally, like she said from the video, he's right down the street from my home.
And let me not be interrupted, but Chico, let's not forget she mentioned that she heard that her husband was down the street cheating. She didn't try to investigate. She didn't speak to him. She didn't try to get to the bottom of it. She went by what she heard.
Right.
And anybody could have told you anything. And if they know, obviously, to me, there is already issues there.
Right.
This is my problem with men, some men. For you to get this far with this woman, there had to be signs that there's something there.
Right.
It was not something that happens overnight. You can even watch a woman and see how she interact with her friends. How many friends does she have? What does she do when she's upset with those friends before you even marry her?
Yeah.
to figure out what type of person that she is. And you cannot tell me that this is her first time responding so evil to something, because it was too easy for her to do it. It was too easy to expose herself and just show herself to the world from something which she heard and had no facts to.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
But I can say this: I think a woman's intuition. You know when a man's really into you, and you also know that without proper communication, counseling, or anything, that you may be running into some trouble. I don't know what happened. I think.
She'll go back in.
No,
Okay.
I'm right
Okay.
here. I'm right
Okay.
here.
So again, you really have to know the person. If you choose now, boyfriend, girlfriend, a little fling, that's totally different. But once you say yourself as committed, and I think there's definitely a difference on, when you go overseas or outside the United States to date or possibly get in a relationship with a person. There's a difference on how women treat their men in other countries versus here in the United States. It's like especially when it comes to our Black women, because we're the only culture here in the United States where everything that we deal with, the music, the stigma is that you don't need your man, someone that looks like you. You don't need a man. No other culture in their music and how they respond to each other is telling Mexican women, Italian women, white women, or any woman from outside the Black race are not telling their men that you don't have value in my life. We're the only culture that keeps repeating this ugly, ugly lie to the point that a lot of women here, they actually believe that a man has no value in their life. Even when you lay down with this man and made kids. That is a sad truth. So a lot of us, we choose to go outside the United States, possibly meet someone, may fall in love with this person and want to become their husband because, like I said, there's a certain lack of responsibility and love that our women have been blinded to. And that's why our divorce rates.
That the culture? I mean, Chico, in America, everything that an American man seems to be attracted to is not what's promoted. It seems like the opposite is promoted. And sometimes that's why I kind of feel bad, because let's just say in overseas, Haiti, women, we do have the ones that do the most, but for the majority, it's in our culture for women to settle down, have her husband, respect your husband, be faithful to your husband. It is a part of our culture because we grow up seeing it versus,
Right.
let's say, in the States, you seeing that a lot of what's being promoted is Cardi B, is all the wrong things. So are guys wrong for judging women in the States with their behavior, because this is what society basically promote for women? Now, that's what school is to go overboard.
No, but if you really understand the power of the media and and I want to go further back. Why is the Black man constantly scrutinized and put under the gun, under the camera, under the magnifying glass? Who's controlling all those things? It's not Black people. So if I can control the media, I can control what you see, especially when it comes to being broadcast over the world. So, true story. I'm in Germany, and there was a woman, I think she was from Ethiopia. I really wanted to be with this woman. But as soon as I got introduced to her family, as soon as her family said no, We will not allow you to be with this person. She didn't question it. She just said, hey, it was over. And there's a reason for that. And at first I felt disrespected. But then when I think about the bigger picture, the media and what they see and understand about Black American men is, oh, all you want to do is make a bunch of babies and go with a bunch of different women and really not love your wife the way she needs to be loved, or whatever that, whatever else come along with that. So I just thought, like, wow, and like I said, to be honest with you, I don't think that's the true nature of a real man that's here. But you got a lot of you got a lot of things put against you when you go and you say, hey, listen, especially to an American Black woman, boy, I tell you, it comes with a lot of baggage, and you got to be prepared to deal with the family. You got to deal with the fact how she was raised. Do she have God in her life? Do she really, truly understand her roles when it comes down to being a mother, being a wife, being a companion? And that's a real blurry line. And they don't have too many examples to say, hey, well, listen, my mom and dad been together for all their relationship. My grandmother and my grandfather, they don't have a lot of things they can hold on to see the right way of going about how to deal with disagreements, arguments, misunderstandings, and how to communicate. And I don't think that they're at that level.
Stallion, you in the back, you quiet. Come on now.
I'm letting Chico preach because he, I've never been married, so I can't really explain and architect.
Can you say why you never been married?
Because he loves he's a stallion. All stallions, they got to get out here and run. They can't be still. You can't put a stallion in a barn. No, he'll go crazy. You got to let a stallion run and be free.
Don't mess around and come into one of them. What you gonna call it? A baby? What would you call her? An animal? You gonna run into a brick?
Yep,
You gonna run into her? Somebody like her could probably deal with a stallion, right?
No, but somebody like that, you would already have to know that she was built that way, maybe from her upbringing. Or maybe she had a past relationship, whatever it was. You could tell the way she was talking. When women use some of that language, to me, that is a turnoff to start with. So I'm assuming that she used that same language before in a casual conversation. To me, that's a no-go for a serious relationship. Now, for a pump and dump, well, that's a different story. We can talk about that. But as far as actually having a serious, meaningful relationship, no, she exercised a lack of class just by her mouth, not her actions that took it over the top. But I wouldn't let it. If I was a simpy guy and I guess couldn't meet anybody, or maybe I wasn't able to conversate or communicate with women, and this is the best I could get, I would at the very least do a prenup in case something went bad. I mean, because that should throw some shit on me. I would, that would have been a deal breaker. And the thing is, I want that prenup in place just to cover my ass.
So do you guys think that this behavior comes more from Black women, and why? Each of you guys can answer that.
It doesn't come from them. To me, honestly, the bitterness, seeing their grandmother in a broken relationship, seeing their great grandmother in a broken relationship, seeing their mother in a broken relationship, and the fact that you want to have children at such a young age and before you even become a mature adult to really know how to deal with the family structure. And again, we talk about what type of friends. Are you dealing with married women as friends being a married woman? Or are you dealing with single women and you being married? and they pretty much live a life like the Italian stallion. They free spirited, and they can do what they want whenever they want to. So how are you gonna put that in proper context when it comes to you having structure in your own home? And how much you letting that be? How much you letting that type of community dwell within your inner walls of your home? You can't have both. And see, I think a lot of people here in the United States, period, men and women, that we done got so spoiled and so connected to being selfish instead of being in relationships and being in a marriage. I would think that you would want to be the type of person that will give all to the person that you're tied to. But that's not the attitude, because it's too quick. You got divorce courts. It's going to end up being a 24-hour, 7 days a week. You mad at the person you with, you say, hell, I'm done. You can literally go online. Y'all are like we're online right now. It's going to be something coming up here in the near future where you want to get done with the relationship. You ain't got to wait till Monday morning. Y'all both log in to get rid of that spouse.com, and damn it. Hey, as quick as you can go say I do. As quick as you can say I do is going to be as quick as you can say I don't want to deal with it. And it's sad because
why do you think that is so prevalent, especially in America?
Because it's a fast food.
Values marriages a lot.
Listen. A lot of this is that some things you got to work for. You notice, just like where you at now, to get to where you at now, you have to you have to really, put the work in to be able to be established to hold a forum like this. But if somebody can just pick up their phone and says, I want to be social media, I want to be, who's Kim Kardashian? Everybody wants to the fast and now. So just by trying to have something right now and don't want to put the work in, you get what you ask for. And then you sit back and wonder, oh, how could he do me like this? Or why was she shit in a bucket and throwing me? Where did she get these ideas from? You seen something in her before that says, she needs some medication. She needs a hug, and she definitely needs Jesus.
Definitely.
So again, like I said, I have the privilege to travel, and I've been to a lot of different places, met a lot of beautiful people in my life. I can tell you, there's without a doubt a difference in the quality of woman. If you're looking for something to do, something like you said, in and out, something quick, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Of course, that's out there. But there's going to be a part in your life where you says, you know what? I want to be able to have a home. I want the structure of a family. And the choices you make after that, boy, you got to be careful.
So let me ask you guys, do you think that her man, knowing that these signs were there, present, do you think he should have made better decisions as far as going around cheating so close to home?
Well, I think the cheating part is the easy part, because as soon as you get bound into a relationship, it's the devil's job to break that up, because he's going against God's will. So you're going to have that pressure no matter where you go. And I'm quite sure as a woman, she didn't have men kind of, hey, baby, this, that, and the third. So learning how to deal with that is something that you got to be raised with as a young person. But since that's been taken out of the Black family, now you have to deal with it. How do I want my family to look? So I know he's probably sitting here now once his attitude and his temper went down, and he's probably saying, you know what? I knew she was nuts. And some people don't know the difference between toxicity or a toxic relationship versus a loving relationship. Some people, if you're not arguing, if y'all not fussing, if you're not going at each other's throats, this is not a good relationship, because that's all they know. But if they got somebody to come home, I had a girlfriend tell me She was dating this firefighter. Dude was wealthy. He was a single man, very educated, and he wanted to treat her like a queen. She said, Chico, I cannot be with him because I will hurt him. I would disrespect him. And I'm like, wow, so you rather go out here and find a thug, the dude you see in the videos that beat women's ass and treat you like shit. That's the type of guy you want. But if he's nice, he knows how to, to treat her like the queen she needs to be treated like. She told me with her right hand to God, I will hurt this man. I'm going to break this off before it gets too far. Because
I think you guys make these stories up because I just don't believe that someone would say that.
I promise you. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm glad you said that because I'm going to ask her, do she mind coming on here? And she got her own reason for the reason why she felt the way she do. But if I'm going to say this to you, you know the realness once the cameras go off, the lights go off, and the makeup is taken off and your hair is down and you got your regular clothes on, you know the person you are. And in your heart, you know what type of man, if he can't, you won't respect the man if the things that you desire, you're not seeing it in him. So for instance, you seem like you're very intelligent and you can deal with a man that can sit down across from you and have an honest, open conversation. You seem like that type of woman. But some women, if a man says, you know what, I don't like the way you wear your hair. And matter of fact, I don't like how you talk to me in front of our kids. You'll feel challenged. You'll feel angry and you'll feel resentful instead of saying, wow, maybe he has a point. So me saying that to you is how she felt about herself with this man. She felt like, and it might have been something new to her. He's too nice. I never felt this kind of way, so I wouldn't know how to appreciate that in him. So before, maybe she felt like she needed to mature a little bit more, but she felt enough about him that she doesn't want to make what he felt that he had for her be a bad decision. You get what I'm saying?
I still don't get it. I still don't get it. I think we need to invite her over and let her tell us.
I know he's talking about
that she passed up a good man. I mean,
see, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna bring receipts. What I mean by I'm bringing receipts, because if she chooses to come on here, this dude was so established. He was they have a firefighters. They have a male calendar where all Black firefighters are in this calendar. He was one of the guys that was in this calendar. He had his stuff all the way together, mentally, physically, and all. Well, I can't really say physical. I know he worked out, but far as how he was in the bed, I can't tell you height or hair how that went. But I could say this. When she told me about this guy who wanted to fly her out to his home and wanted to really take their relationship to the next level, she said boldly to me, I don't think this is what I want. I don't think that I'm the type of woman that can appreciate the type of man he is. And when I tell you she cut it off, she cut it off.
You think that had a lot to do probably with her upbringing?
Yes.
And, the things that she was exposed to as
yes, that's all true. And she was, and also I know for a fact she wasn't ready to be tied down because she had a few other things going on around her.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier, Chico, when a man chooses to marry, he wants to marry for life. So what type of qualities does most men look for in that lifetime partner?
First off, the man has to understand what he really desires from that woman. A lot of us get caught up with the physical. That's what we see. We live in and I'm gonna say this as a joke. This is a joke. Men deal with the reality of life. Women deal with the fantasy of life. A woman deals with once upon a time there was a man riding a white horse, a stallion, and he came into my life. We lived happily ever after. That's a beautiful story, but it's a fantasy, you know. But when life comes around and she really gets to experience that I can just speak for the women that's been in my life. They come from broken homes. They come from mixed family members where your siblings don't have the same father, you know. You come from a brokenness, and then you try to get a person that's been broken, and then they want to turn around and say, well, I choose not to live this way. So in my life, I want to get married. But you'll spend more time looking for a used car than you do looking for the type of woman that can really be the type of woman that's going to fulfill all your needs and desire. I'm about to put her. Can't mind my phone. Forgive me. So again, when you take the time to really consider, and I don't know you, so I don't know in your life how many different relationships, or you've been with the first guy that ever came into your life. You fall in love and y'all living happily ever after. But I can tell you, I hope that to be your story. But come on, call my sister and tell her I'm gonna call her back. Let me send her. Okay. Forgive me. So
You
I
just
don't know.
fine.
I'm sorry.
No, I say you just fine. You good.
So again, I hope and pray. Well, like I said, and let me tell a little bit more. I've been married 3 times. Okay. And I tell this joke, the first time I got married, I was visiting hell. The second time I got married, I was a lifetime. At the point I was not only a visitor, I was a resident. And the third time I'm saying, you know what? Hey, I can't blame the women. I got to look within myself and say, hey, listen, there's a few things I need to mature to. I do.
I'm sorry for, oh, Dale calling him. Okay. Can you call Dale and tell her Dale call her back? Oh,
Okay, so that's where wow, where was I at? I got my sisters calling me. I don't know exactly what's all going on and stuff, but my life is crazy.
You said the third time you got married, you had to look now at yourself and say, hey,
how am I
stay in a
attracting?
union.
How am I attracting? You know, at the beginning, it's all fun and bells and whistles, the light, the bells, the clouds didn't parted, the sun is up. I'm like, but boy, the way that shit ended. Only thing she didn't do was throw some shit on me.
Still going? Is the third marriage still going?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So
The charm.
So what have you done different from the other 2? And what have you gotten that's different from the other 2 that has kept you going there?
okay, so I can say this: having a boldness about who I am, and to be as what they call transparent as possible. That's, I thought, well, and I might be getting this mixed up or messed up now, but up to the point where I'm at, I'm happy of the person I am, where there's no secrets. I don't try to, matter of fact, she's sitting right here next to me. So I don't sit around and go through life like I gotta be secretive and hide things, and I gotta be, walk into the other room when my phone rings. So there's a certain level of transparency that I'm trying to expose of myself. And if she can accept, this is the real me. Now, if you can accept that guy, then there's no limitations to where this thing will go. But for whatever reasons, and I tell her all the time, I'm not a perfect person. I got a lot of hurt from my past. But I'm willing to look past that to make sure that we don't experience those things, that I had to experience in my past. And I hope she can be the same way when it comes down to me. But the honesty part has got to be where I'm going to put my foundation at. So if the shit go bad for me now, then I can honestly say, you know what? I tried that out. I'm trying something new here. So if it doesn't work, God forbid the world, when I get back out there, I'm leaving no prisoners. I'm telling you, but I got to get that out my head. That's just kind of a little funny going forward.
Yeah. Don't put any negativity.
No,
So,
no, no, no.
Stallion, do you even believe in marriages?
Yeah, of course. Here's a problem. We're really the United States. We're really the only country that has such the tables are tilted so far the other way in courts with women for divorces. That's part of that's one of the problems. Some of this stuff really started when they got rid of no fault divorce. I think it was don't quote me on this, 1965. There was they basically allowed no fault divorce, and this is the start of it. And then it came down to some of the social programs we have in place here, where it's almost an incentive for a woman not to be with a man. I mean, that's the other facet of it. Now there's exceptions to the rule with everything I'm saying, but it's the toxic environment we have in this country is so bad. You're scared to get a divorce or get married. And here's the thing: if you do a prenup, a lot of prenups can be challenged, and depending on what state you're in, I mean, it's almost a no-win situation. That's why you see a lot of guys that got their passports. They've traveled overseas, and most of them that I know, if they get involved in any kind of serious relationship and or marriage, they're not bringing the women back to the United States. They're living in their home countries because the laws are more equitable. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. So from that end of it, it's very difficult for somebody to do that. I mean, there's more than enough examples out there, even with celebrities and stuff, of what's happened in these marriages. And like I said, the prenup's not an end all, be all. That could be thrown out or modified by the courts.
Well, I think that marriages here in the United States need to be like your driver's license. It has an expiration date, because we have been in relationships, and once you really see the hair come down, and then they take the fake boobs out, and then they take the booty pad out, and you get to see the real deal, and you like, what the hell? These are jokes. I want people to laugh a little taste. So
that's true. I was about to say, well, some guys, they kind of deserve that because they're superficial themselves.
Yes.
They go after that type. And sometimes everything that glitter is not gold.
But, and again, that's me saying how we shop around for relationships. Do you really think and put the work in, and really see, sometimes you can get a great friendship behind it. Everything doesn't have to come down to an I do. But me saying that, I think they need to revisit how long, just like here, I know Ohio is a licensed state. You got to get a license to cut hair, damn near to cut grass. You got to get licensed to own a business. So you need licenses and all kind of things of that sort to even be in a financial business world. So on the same, and a relationship with a woman is a contract. It's a even though we call it a marriage certificate, it is a contract. So me saying that is, it might be something where you get married for the first time, y'all get a 5-year contract. And then if you want to extend this contract, you can go for another 5 years. But at the end of 10 or 20 years, you guys are married for life. But the concept from the beginning where you meet someone and y'all just one marriage, one wife, and one marriage, one husband, and y'all live happily ever after for the entire. You know how special you have to be as a woman for a man that says, you're going to be the only woman I desire for the rest of my life. That's like me waking up and telling you, you're only going to have eggs for breakfast for the rest of your life. So now you got to ask yourself as a woman, how can I make sure this man sees me as the best eggs every morning. If I got to put cheese on me, if I got to put a little salt and pepper on me, if I got to jazz it up with mix a little potatoes in, I don't know, but I'm trying to use it as a funny. But you're going to have this for the rest of your life. And I talk to my wife, and I say, you know what? And I'm kind of, I had to excuse myself with her because I tell her, I said, listen, I got to watch how I look at you. When you walk across the room, shit, I'm like a lion. I'm like, is that a gazelle walking across my path? And she know I'm hungry right now. Tear your ass up, right? So I had to forgive myself. Like, listen, I gotta respect this woman, and I gotta slow my thoughts down because right now I'm like a raging bull. We have these conversations. I say all this in fun because all this is still exciting for me. But I don't want her to ever feel like I'm taking advantage of her. But hell, sometimes I like her to jazz it up. Put your little heels on, girl. Yeah, go on, pull that little tight dress out. Shit, what you talking about?
So, do you think back in the days we saw grandma and grandpa being together for years,
right?
And they either shared a friendship that was a mutual bond that's unbreakable. Do you think that society today is what have caused marriages to not be able to work? You're always seeing that picture.
Yes.
Some people get caught up in the picture and they thinking, oh, because I take a pretty picture and I post it, that's just a picture.
Right.
That my life is glitter, that your life is just this. However, it's not even near that. It is just a picture. And people are too busy comparing themselves to what they assume is pretty, when all the while, when you open that curtain, it is not. This person may be taking all of these nice pictures showing that their relationship is this and that, when all the while you have a better relationship than them. So do you think that it is because we're too busy comparing ourselves, we're too busy on social media, that prevents us, especially women, from being good wives, from being down to earth, humble, and just having your man's back? Because you have so many people that's promoting different things that's supposed to be cool.
But that you spoke on a lot of different things. The first is, how did the older generation, because they came from the same kind of struggle. So they seen what slavery was like. They seen how the families are ripped apart. So when you come from someone that has witnessed that, you know that, hey, if us against the world, so you had a certain type of mannerism and respect. Because when you see your man going out there and he's called nigger and he's spit on and he's making no money to little money, he's still trying to come home and still feel like he has some value in his home. The sick part about the media is that when you came along and you said, well, you don't need a man, any real woman should say, you need to stop saying that shit. Yes, I don't know what you like, if you're a lesbian or you like transgender, whatever that shit is, well, you go for that. But if you truly want that structure, you really need to know where the enemy is speaking the loudest. Because anything telling you, you have your desire, you know what you want out of a man. So someone comes along, I don't care if it's your mother, your sister, your girlfriend, or whoever. As soon as they come along and tell you that the things you value you shouldn't strive or want to have those things in your life, you need to question the person who's saying those things to you. And the fact that you don't question, you can have an enemy living, having access to your home and all these things, access to who you think you are or who you want to be. As soon as you come against that, or you get your little heart broken, all men are the devil. As soon as a man go outside of y'all little so-called relationship, fuck men, I'm gonna start fucking women. You do careless stuff because you're scared to examine yourself and really look at yourself to, again, I got to question who I am. What do I desire? What do I need from a woman? If that's the person I'm with, then I need to, in my way, explain to you the things that are important for me. I can't care about the people you were with prior to me. I don't want to care and know about why that last relationship went bad and all that other shit. I need you to know this is how I'm built. This is me. So if that doesn't work for you, if you don't find a way in your own spirit to make sure those things are covered, then we probably shouldn't be together. And we ain't got to go get no bucket of shit. We ain't got to go get the dog to poop in a container. We ain't got to go get some hot acid or pull out a gun or get violent where we at each other's throats, sleeping with butcher knives and all that old silly shit. We need to come together. If we met each other in good terms, we should be able to part in good terms. I should come to you, or you should be able to come to me and say, look, I'm happy. I don't think there's anything that's going to make this relationship be prosperous. So listen, let's do this thing in proper form. Let's just say, hey, listen, we're going to go get this thing annulled. You can go your way. I can go my way. You have a happy life. I want you to be happy. There's that perfect man out there somewhere. It's now your job and opportunity to make sure you present yourself to that. And that's it.
Do you think that moving forward, especially from the video, do you think I should play the video again for those that are just coming in?
You got to be careful. I mean, I don't know what you see. If there's people that's just now logging in for the first time, I would encourage them, because this conversation kind of strayed a little bit. That video was toxic. So it should be a disclaimer. Hey, if you don't have...
Take children out of the room.
Yeah, you don't want nobody... It should come with a warning. This is some disturbing things. But on the same token, Angela, let me ask you a question. You being the woman that you are, is there anything that a man can do to you that will make you feel like, I want to take it there from the video?
For me, no.
Yes.
Because I'm emotional naturally when I need to be, but I'm also well-grounded mentally. And I think things through. And for me, if my man is cheating and someone told me he's cheating down the street, I will most likely talk to him. I may even have called him and asked him, hey, where you at? Come home. And when he comes home, what I'm going to do is speak with him. Speaking for myself, I am not one that do a bunch of people, especially women.
Right.
And the women in my life are women that I want to credit to that are good women. Whether they are single, they are still good women. And they will give me good advice and vice versa. I do not think that I have a friend that would stay in the room with me and condone that. And I don't think I would have been in a room with a friend that's going to that extreme. I will be more that friend to probably, soon as I notice something like that was going on, I would probably give you that call and be like, hey, sis is really mad right now. Like, go to your mama house, do something different, let her calm down to see if we can do something different. Because it takes control of your emotions. And I want to say I've gotten that type of temperament or control because of situations in my life. I did years behind bars. So with that experience, It gave me the opportunity to be able to deal with stressful situations logically and not emotionally. Because why I say that, I can get upset because I'm here and bang my head against the wall, but the permanent damage will be done to me
Right.
because now, after it's said and done, I have a bruised head, yada yada. And sometimes you don't need to do things yourself to learn. You can learn from other people. So I learned from other people. And now for me, I personally was saying she's pure evil, but Stallion said not to say that because I was going to put that on the thumbnail because I am first a sister and will be a wife. And that is just pure evil. I wouldn't even want to be a friend with someone like that. That's just me speaking, okay? If I know that person have that type of characteristic, especially to a man that she is supposed to be committed to, who she has taken out a vow with, in my mind, she would kill me. So I'm like running away from people like that.
Oh, I
If she was
commend you.
then she would definitely kill me. So I'm not going to give her a second in my life to be my friend. That is one of the things I try to tell people. You have to be careful because bad company corrupts good character.
Right.
You can well be a good woman, but being friends with women like that, they will taint your spirit because now you start questioning who you are as a woman. You start asking yourself, am I cool or am I too submissive? Am I not? And then you take away your good characteristics to fit in. That's what happens with a lot of women in America, especially young Black women. That are being raised in a neighborhood where you feel like you always have to hang out, where your parents are always at work. So you go out with good qualities. You have qualities in the home, but then when you go hang out with these people, you feel like you have to fit in. So in the process of fitting in, you're going to have to be yes men to things that you may not even believe in. And be careful what you condone because you find yourself becoming just like it. So for me, she is wrong. And this is not a way to treat your husband that you are committed to. If you have a problem in your relationship, you need to be able to talk to that man. And for myself, I have never loved someone and wished them harm. So if I ever was with you, whether we're not together, I would never wish you harm. I will always wish you good because even though we didn't make it, doesn't mean we have to be enemies.
Right. But again, I love what you said about the company you keep, and you have to have to a level where you got to honestly say to yourself, you know, and I'm quite sure that friend, she looks at that because even in that moment in the video, you can hear how she's like, you know, she's wild at this mindset. Like she couldn't even believe that she would really take it to the level that she was taking it and getting caught up with that.
Though. I want to say this because in the video, we
frozen.
Okay.
Yeah. Should come back up in a minute.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. I ain't getting married, Chico. I'm sorry. I don't see I don't see the upside in it. Not here in this country. If somebody out the upside, yeah, everybody makes their own decisions. I mean, I'm not faulting anybody else for what they do. I'm just saying I'm looking at it from a logical standpoint and saying, what is the upside for me, the stallion, to get married?
That's who you are. You're very calculated in the decisions, you know, and you can see just in your life and how you chose your path to get where you at. Everything was done with some calculations. And, you know, that's why you can be retired. That's why you can travel the world like you do, because you use strategic calculations to make sure certain things are done So when you get to this point in your life, life is good for you. Life is easy for you.
Right.
You use that same calculation as far as the path you chose in life to even say the path you choose in relationship. So it only makes sense. But again, some of us have this mindset of how overall you will want your it's cool, you're still a young person, but once you start to get in age a little bit and this gray stuff start coming out your face, then you start saying, well, if I got a bad left leg, I hope my wife got a bad right leg so we can balance each other out and still go through this thing of life. Just saying, hey, listen, look at our accomplishments, look at all the things we were able to do for not only for our relationship, but for our children, and making sure they're successful and have a seed planted in them where they can honestly see there's a right way to go about this thing, where you can love someone, you can trust someone, and you can have the type of openness and realness with each other that a lot of people choose to keep because they're so broken and sensitive to they're even scared to open up. And that's the thing about relationships. We know how to get in them, but we don't know how to get out of them. And we don't know how to cleanse ourselves. The body needs cleanse. That's why people go into healthy reasons why they fast, why they start exercising. But mostly when it comes down to relationships, I think after every relationship you've been in, you really need to examine, okay, where did this thing go left to center? What did I could take and be responsible enough to say about myself? You know, we have made some actions where you scratch your head like, damn, I can't even believe I did that or I said that, and how we got to this position. But so once you start doing that inner check and you start cleansing yourself to say, hey, listen, there's other ways to operate in this realm, but there's other ways to communicate. But I truly believe right now that bold honesty, the things you like at every level, how you see your finances, how you see your relationships when it comes down to be able to communicate with each other, how your vision for the children should be, how your vision when it comes to that bedroom, the things you like. A lot of people, hey, don't you say nothing, Stallion, because I know you got some pretty live ass stories. So outside of your what kind of you have a caviar appetite. So a lot of people don't like caviar. So I'm just trying to use that. I ain't trying to tell you business, but I'm simply saying once you understand the person that looks back in the mirror, you can figure out the type of person you desire to be with. You know, and if you don't, you know, if you can get with a person and have those same goals and values, so you'll be happily ever after.
But you know, let me say something here about marriage. If they made marriage more fair, you know, for the divorce, it was more equitable for a man, I think that you would have less divorces for only the reason is because if you enter into a marriage with a woman, you know that the woman's already going to know up front that you're not going to get half of the bag. You know, in other words, some women go into the marriage with bad intentions because if it doesn't work out, I'm going to get half of what he's got anyways. And, you know, whatever.
But that just tell you can learn that from the people she hang out with. You can look at her parents and see how they, you know, if every word that come out of her mouth is fuck man, I don't need a man, you already know that ain't the woman for you. Right. I believe that if two people that really can understand that they came from two broken homes, and now you got to understand that was a choice that their parents made and your parents made. I need to break this curse. This generational curse. How can I now better understand what I need to do? I can't do it like my father. I can't do it like my mother. What is it that I have to do to make sure that the person I choose to be with really truly understand the person she's with? And still take that listening ear is you got to have a willingness inside you to want to change for that person. If you truly love that person, I can't worry about the money if I love you, because if something happens to me, of course you deserve everything. But if you're going into with intent, what you can get from me and what I can get out of you, a selfish intent, then no, you don't need this right here when it comes down to marriage. No, you don't need no parts of it.
If you
But
take
you're gonna-
if you take the financial aspect out of it, and again, it's more equitable for divorces. I think one, you would see more marriages because more men would be willing to take that risk. But also, two,
But though, you got to understand that in the black community, the black woman is doing way better than the black man. She's more educated. She's got financially, most men can't handle the fact that their women make more money than them. And somehow the money aspect now becomes an ego aspect that becomes that one of those things where the women feel like if I make more money than you, then my man don't have no value. Wrong. The same thing as a man. If my woman is making more money than me, but she still respects me as her king, and I respect her as my queen, we're gonna go far. And you don't even think about or worry about the prenups and what she got in her account and what you got in your account. But if your whole purpose is being with somebody because you constantly got to steer around that conversation, well, what if things go bad? Well, if you were in for those intentions, then you ain't going to truly be happy with that person. But if you can go to it with the intent, like, listen, with you, I'm gonna respect you, and even we get to the point in our lives that you're not truly happy, we're gonna respect each other on the way we end this, and if you got to be a strong person to realize that.
Let me say something. I think too many people seek superficial mates.
Yes,
And
yes.
you mentioned, black women, but I'm gonna say the black men. Black men seek beauty. They look for all these superficial things, and then as soon as a leg get broken, they expect for that person to stay with them, because a lot of the times that person is selling their beauty, and the minute you can't no longer afford it at the price that they're bidding for it, then you no longer have value. And that is, just from my opinion, for a percentage, that is why so many black men have bad experience also in marriages, because you guys are superficial.
But what does the media say? Okay, again, I'm using this as a joke, but if you're a woman, all your friends are scantily dressed. They dress like streetwalkers, and you happen to be along with that group. But hey, I'm dressed like a police officer, and someone runs to me and say, "Excuse me, sir, I'm being disrespected," or someone just snatched my purse, and I'll come to you and say, "I don't know why you're talking to me." Well, you're a police officer. No, I'm just dressed like a police officer. So if I want to meet you, you could be a wholesome girl. You want the strong beliefs in marriage and respect and all that stuff, but all the girls you with are dressed like
strippers.
Then if you with that group, I'm gonna, like a birds of the feather, flock together. If that's your group, it's gonna hard for me to see you any other kind of way. And it's so bad here. I do a lot of hosting at a lot of different clubs and events and stuff. I'm seeing groups of women come together, sit amongst each other, and they're so involved with who can twerk and who can twist their ass and who can rubbing on each other. And I'm saying, rubbing each other's breasts, rubbing each other's ass down between, you playing this game. But I'm watching you do this. I can be attracted to you, but on the same token, I'm saying, oh, I'll never take her home to my mother. Not doing this kind of shit. Now, we might go out in the back in the car or behind the dumpster, but I'm not about to trust that.
Don't.
Yes, because why? Why would I want to make this no more than what you presented it to be? You saying black men are doing this, but I can guarantee you, for every black man that goes out to the bar, there's 10 women. 10 to 1.
But why do you feel you have to find your mate at the bar? Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with women going out to have a drink. If that's what you want to do, then you can do that.
I go to church, and there's many holes in the church there is out there at the bar. Don't put it like,
I'm not gonna put up with you.
okay, oh, don't. Yeah, I got a whole nother real side to me. There's a whole nother real side to me. Because you think that there's no sin in the church?
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm just asking questions. So if it's at the
I
bar,
believe there is even more sin in the church.
okay,
Yes,
so
there's sin in the church.
okay, so my point still is, once I put myself in a position to want to approach you and try to just basic conversation, and if there's a certain level of communicating that you're not able to hold up, it's just like I'm 56 years old. I have women as young as my daughter trying to hook up. I'm like, what do we have in common? There's nothing that I want. We're not at the same pay scale. We're not at the same mental level. You know, you talking about Jordans and motherfucking fast food, and I'm talking stocks and bonds. What the fuck do we have in common? So how do I look at you? I'm going to look at how you present yourself. The women here don't even dress up anymore. They don't put the nice clothes on and wear the heels, care about what their toes look like, making sure their nails are done. No, they're going out here in a jogging suit with some Jordans on.
A blue bonnet.
Yeah, a bonnet on their fucking head. How am I supposed to take you serious? Fuck out of here, bro. So again, the men are spoiled here. The men are spoiled here because the women here, they feel like they got choices, and I can pick you up, or I can take you home, or I can sit at the bar and spend up all your money on drinks and send you home to your brokenness. And the men feel like, I don't even want to invest in you right now because there's a problem here in the United States. The men don't know if they want to be with women or men. And the women don't know if they want to be with women or men. So it's so screwed up out here. You don't, it's like, do I really need this headache? Do I want to even entertain
you have
this?
your passport, Chico?
Uh-huh. I'm sorry.
Do you have your passport?
Not yet. I got.
Why not? Why you
listen,
don't have a passport?
I didn't travel. Not to say that I'm done traveling. There's some things I need to take care of to make sure everything is lined. I'm really busy.
You guys are so big on passport. Do you think that women in foreign countries are not pretty similar to women in the States? Do you think they don't? What is the difference? What do you think?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna speak to this. You're a very attractive young lady. I know how it is to be, and how do I say this? The same things. If you chose to go out, you don't have the mental. You don't have anything that says, "Oh, nobody's going to notice me. No one's going to want to talk to me." That's an automatic. As soon as you walk out the house, you know that there's going to be someone trying to get or demanding your attention. Here, and it's me going overseas, I know how that feels to be you now. Because the women see you, and you're not a regular, you're not a local. There's something that automatic, as soon as you come into that environment, it's like, it's almost like a wow factor. So I was in Germany for 3.5 years, and I would go out. I never had women that I didn't know sending me drinks. Women that instead of me got to come ask you, would you like to dance? They'll come and say, hi. They will literally ask you to dance. As soon as the song is over, they want to buy you a drink. They want to really conversate with you. They're trying to really get to know you. Now, for me going to Germany, that blew I was the fine bitch in the bar. I'm like, shit, everybody here likes me. So it was hard for me to take some control over this. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? So, but being here in the States, same scenario. You got to be popular before women want to really come at you in any kind of way. And I had plenty of women after, from high school, get to being adults. and you guys have that crazy conversation, well, she'll say to you, you know what? I was so in love with you back when we were in the school because of who she was. And she felt like, for whatever reason, that conversation never happened. And now that you're much older, you like, wow, why didn't you say something way back then? I don't know. So it's just it's like, so I have to ask myself, where is this going? You know, you missed a good opportunity, but I'm not, I'm it's just, it is what it is. So again, when men get,
It's because a lot of women, especially you guys hanging out at, these nightclubs, you think they fantasize about these football players, rappers, and maybe even scammers. That way, when you come in there looking like a regular, honest guy, that you're not attractive to them because they come out with this, let's say, Cardi B attitude, and possibly coming out looking for their Jay-Z or Offset. So when they see you looking, nice, and do you think that maybe why they're not giving you guys attention?
well, I think this, everyone has a certain degree of one not to be, or same old same, or experience the same old experience. And you have a willingness and a desire to try something different out. So I don't think it's just like, oh, they're looking for that particular kind of individual. They're saying, hey, listen, for instance, when I was in Germany, the men there didn't like to dance. They just want to drink their beer, smoke their Marlboros, and sit there at the table and watch the women dance. So when I come, I like to dance. I like to get out there and have a great time. So I find myself out there all night, dancing the whole night. And that was something that was appealing and attractive to them, and it was attractive to me too. So in that sense, everyone's having a great time. So here, like I said, the women have got so involved with this mindset from the videos and the shit that's in media. You know, do you really think this man watching you kiss, rub on another woman? Why would you get mad? This is what I'm saying. If I met a woman and she had a couple girlfriends with her, and when I met her, they was dancing together, rubbing on each other, kissing on each other, doing all those things. So I get with you, and then I expect for you to still be able to do that stuff, but now I want to be included in that situation. Why are you now mad when you presented that image to me? You get what I'm saying? So you got to be careful how you present yourself when you with whoever, or that situation comes with someone is you capture their attention, and you can't sit up here at once. I got so much I want to say. I didn't have a situation where a woman will introduce herself with the person she's with as her cousin or her friend or her sister. Then some other things go on. Now I'm watching both of you guys kiss and do other things to each other, and I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, just an hour ago, that was your family.
Don't do drugs. It might be on that fentanyl.
Oh no, it wasn't that. Hey, I can honestly state my generation of folks, it's a situation now, but back then, they might have had some weed or some alcohol, but that was pretty much the gist of that. But I'm really confused that when I go out to the bars now, and how women, they present this image, and then it's surprised at how she's being treated by the person that she chose for the night. It just blows my mind. Like, well, if I read the instructions and it says, hey, I'm a hoe on the outside, so why shouldn't I feel like that same person on the box is not in the inside of the box? I'm just not getting that part.
Masculinity. There's a lot of masculinity with a lot of the women here in the U.S., aka the Matrix.
God.
Yeah, the bottom line is when you go out in another country, the women are raised in a more traditional fashion. I'm not saying all countries, but I'm going to say most of the third world countries out here in the world, they're raised to have a more of a traditional value setup, and there are certain rules and certain boundaries that are set in place with a man and a woman. So, and the women here in the States, unfortunately, they put such a high priority on sex, on who's screwing who, and all those type of things. They're willing to throw literally everything down the drain and put their kids in a bad situation if there's a divorce and everything, all because of something that is we consider taboo here in this country. In other countries they don't see it that way. I mean, somebody's feelings might get hurt or somebody might be a little off balance, but you don't see the amount of the energy of negativity of reaction over something about just sex. I mean, it's misprioritized, in my opinion.
Well, on that level, we're the only country that makes it dirty.
Right.
Other countries, they said, hey, listen, they realize that it's a part of life and there's proper way to embrace those needs and wants, because this is the worst drug in the world is sex, because once you experience it, you're going to always want it. You're going to always be in a position where you're going to seek that in your life. It might not be with that person you're with, but you're going to find someone else and you're going to have this kind of relationship with that person. But we're the only country that makes it dirty. Oh, that's forbidden. That's the fruit that was picked from the tree back when Adam and Eve. You can't do that. And I'm going to turn my back to that. Well, hey, I got a whole different attitude when it comes down to certain things like that, bro.
Hey, it's traditional too in a lot of countries. I've been to Ghana. You can have more than one wife, and it's very acceptable. Matter of fact,
I can respect that at a level where I can say, yourself, and as a woman, I would think that some things that you may do, but that's not your thing. That's not your thing. You can say, well, once a month is cool with me. Twice a month is cool with me. Every day, I'm not cool with that. But you chose a man that desire you every day. Either you're going to submit to him or you're going to say, well, nah, today is not a good day. After a while doing that shit, you're going to be like, if you won't, she will.
Right.
But again, there might be some religious reason why they allow certain things. There might be, for whatever reason they allow certain things to happen. They got polygamy. Facebook got a couple different groups that they didn't got past this whole jealous because you choose to have 2 wives or 3 wives or 2 husbands or 3 husbands. There are some communities that's here in the States that said, I understand what that is, and this is what I choose to do for my life and my relationships. And again, you can find it, but you just got to be more in tune to what is it that you're actually looking for and go for it.
Yeah, I just found out recently, and I didn't know this. This is in Ghana. It used to be before that not only you could have more than one wife, which is still going on today, but you could actually marry the sisters. If the family was cool with it and you take the dowry, you can marry the woman you got. You can marry her older sister, the younger sister, and the whole 9.
I want to say this. Now you taking it too far. I don't want 2 from the same bloodline. I gotta honestly say that's crossing the line with me. I mean, it's all maybe good, and some men got the fantasy with being with twins, but I wouldn't want that to be no. I can't deal with both of y'all like this every day. We got to get back on track. We was talking about that little heifer and that bucket of shit she threw up. Man, poor guy.
I'm telling you guys.
I'm so mad at that girl.
All right. Abuefo says men need to get a passport and stay away from women in the America, Canada, Caribbean, and Europe. So where do you travel to? Like, Abuefo, what are you saying? Like, you staying away from women in all these places. Let me find out. You just said it's a problem that you have a lot of men that are going after men. I mean, if a man can't travel to any of these places, where do you go to find? I mean, you going to Africa, which
I
it's
can,
not
I can
bad,
answer
but
that question. I can answer that question. What he said is correct. I'm assuming it's a man. He's correct in America, Canada, and Europe. The Caribbean is divided. And I know this just from my experiences in traveling. Now, if it's Haiti, that's cool. I mean, I'd have no problem. Dominican Republic, for the most part, I don't have a problem. Now, some of the Caribbean islands have been westernized, and this is my opinion now. I think Jamaica is very toxic. It's been visited by so long by so many Americans. We've poisoned, that part, that at least that island. And the women there, as a general rule, are toxic. They're just like American women without money, in my opinion. You go to other countries like Costa Rica. Costa Rica is pretty much polluted too. And a lot of it's that American, wherever Americans have been for any period of time in these other countries, it's been toxic. It's been polluted. Costa Rica is another one. Panama to a certain extent. Those are the ones I can think of. There's other Caribbean islands, but I'd say Haiti and the DR for me would be cool. But you get outside some of those other islands, Aruba and Saint Martin, and these little teeny islands, Saint Vincent and all that. What's the other island? Barbados. You're starting to get into a different type of mindset at that point. But yeah, people go to Philippines, they go to Thailand. Some are going to check out Africa. I'm just thinking off the top of my head where else they may go. But those are the ones that could come off the top of my head. Colombia, obviously, Brazil. That's another spots. There's a couple other spots I'm not thinking of, but basically as a general rule, if you're dealing with either a developed Western style mindset and or ones where a lot of expats or America's had a lot of influence, that's usually going to be the ones that you want to probably stay away from if you had to pick travel.
But again, that just shows you how media then got so involved with even how the world sees us, where they actually think that image is really what attracts us to that. And it's totally the opposite. It's totally the opposite. So, what do you do at that point? I mean, I think this country, in so many words, can be the great Satan, because as much resources that we have and as much things can be used for the better of everything, we use it for all the toxic and wrong reasons. And
Right.
it's an ugly truth.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta agree. I mean,
Because you just said it. Soon as you go and the American influence hit that area, it's ruined. And where do they get that influence from? From the shit they get off of social media and what the media chooses to put out there.
right. I know we talked earlier off camera, but I was, the girl that I was talking to last night that waved me over sitting in a car, one of the conversations we had is I said, how can American women, as much money and wealth and everything else, how could they go into a club wearing house slippers, I've seen girls in pajamas, blue bonnet, all that stuff, but yet you could go to a country where a girl doesn't have anything. She could buy a $5 dress that fits her body right and have some cheap sandals or something and be more presentable going in. I said, how, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make any sense. The girl that doesn't have anything at least has a little bit of class about herself, even though she doesn't have any money.
Well, I argue that because it depends again on how they're being raised. You can go to Chicago, you can go up here to Detroit. There's a young lady I met years ago at the club who seen other women wearing tennis shoes and said, I would never, ever go out with some gym clothes on. You know, and I have to respect that because the way she was raised, there was no way that she was going to present herself out there like that. The woman that I'm married to, same scenario. She probably she got 2 pair of tennis shoes, no, 3, that looks brand new in the box. Now, when we would go out, please, heels, some kind of dress boot or something, she would never, ever wear tennis shoes to anywhere that she's representing me. I feel like she represents me when she takes herself to these places. I want her to look presentable. She's not going to be out here with half her boob hanging out and her ass cheek poking out the bottom of her jeans. Hell no. You can go on back in the room with that because that ain't for them. But again, when you don't have someone that's willing first to realize what she's doing to herself, and then how she's representing you, if you're going to put yourself out there like you a hat bag, be ready to take whatever attention you draw into yourself.
All right.
And I'm not no whore, but bitch, you got the outfit on. Shit, you better get the fuck on with that, bro. Don't play with me. I'm not that guy, bro. Let's get back to the subject, though, man. We keep getting off the subject.
Well, definitely, I will invite you guys back again to another show.
Can't be over, man. We're just getting started.
One of the things I want you to be sure, Chico, to bring, get that young lady in contact.
I'm an actor. I think this was a lot of fun. No,
this is a lot of fun. That is why I started this channel. That way, you know, we can talk about certain things, bring light to it, you know. A lot of the times, what we complain about is because we're not saying anything. We're not promoting good women in our society. If you are good, if you are submissive, if you are willing to be a wife, if you're willing to be respectful towards your husband and you believe on that, and you want to be a wife, stuff like that, you don't want to dress like these women dress, you find it that society shun you. So now with YouTube, it grants you the opportunity to create an audience that you could tell who likes what based on where they flock to. Reality is when you say, oh, this girl dressed this way, so I'm going to treat you that way. Look at the average video vixen following. Some of them are at millions, if not more. That's where people flock to. So I don't know if they flock to there to complain, to talk about it, but reality is people like that. Sex sells. That's where they go.
Let's do this. Let's do this real quick. Because it's like the forbidden apple here in the United States. Let's take Puffy, Sean Combs, for an example.
I'm going to go to Jada too.
Okay, well, we can do that. But I'm going to start with Puffy. Mm-hmm. Now, he did a ton of videos, a ton of talk about his lifestyle. But one thing I can guarantee you, you take the top names, Puffy, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, they all have children. And none of the videos that you see with other people's daughters, wives, or girlfriend in, none of those videos of those women, their daughters even remotely dress or act like. I'm talking about their real children, blood children, very educated, all the best schools. Puffy did something, he had his daughters all together. Every one of those daughters looked like they could have been a runway supermodel dressed in business attire. Not the short shorts and the blue-green hair and the fake nails and the red lipstick. They look like proper women. You could take Lil Wayne's daughters. You could take any one of these top so-called artists.
Well, let's slow down a little bit. You guys, please share as you are watching. Please share the live. Let's get more people watching, guys. Please share. Let's not forget Cardi B shared with the world as she is. And don't get me wrong, I do like Cardi. But sometimes you just her music just hypes you. She's a great artist, and her personality is just contagious. But some of the things that Cardi does is just outright outrageous and disrespectful. And you're wondering, like, you mean to tell me her husband is okay with all of this? But she have told the world that she does not allow even her own children to watch some of the stuff that she does.
But again, that tells you that what you're getting is these are coached events. These are coached. Well, you got to be more turned up. We need you to do something that's so toxic or so like a wow factor, because they know that's what's going to sell albums. That's going to get more hits on your Facebook or Instagram account. So I need you to give us, for instance, Cardi B has a song where she says, I think part of the lyrics, when it's up, or some shit where this is a rap song that was real popular here. But she was on a Jimmy Kimmel late night talk show, and he was like, what inspires you? Where did you get this mind from? You know, what made you think of the lyrics to this song? And she said, as a wow moment, oh, I was on the bathroom taking a shit, and she was using the bathroom, and it wasn't coming down or wasn't coming out, and it was stuck. That was her words. Now, any woman with any kind of class would have never shared that story. Maybe true or not, but that's what she's been coached to do. You want to stay on the top of this media frenzy, you got to come with some oh man. Well, and let me say that I say that about Cardi, but then I also seen a TikTok video where she's talking about, and this is what we don't pay attention to, for them to take on these characters, then they taking on certain type of spirits. And Cardi talked about in his last TikTok video I seen her how she was scared to perform this song. One of her songs on her album, she said, I don't want to perform this song because every time I rap this song, there's a certain type of spirit that takes over me, and I'm scared of it. Now, that says a lot about the spiritual world versus what we are earthly, the things that we deal with. So that's a whole nother subject that I was more surprised that she had that boldness and honesty to speak on it. But still, we have been conditioned to not even take and consider it. Spirits they're transferable. And a lot of shit are kids that really can't discern what they're watching towards the way they feel after they hear certain music. So we ain't even careful as parents to be able to have the type of control that we need when it even comes down to the type of music and the things our kids are being exposed to. And that's a whole nother subject. And then you wonder why little Ray Ray is running around the house, jumping off the walls, and they giving him all this medication saying he got Tourette's and he got whatever other little shit they want to find a reason to start your kids off at a young age, doping them up with these drugs that they will never get off of. We are in a toxic environment, and it's way out of control. It's so out of control. Well, I thank God that all my children are adults, and I'm scared for my grandbabies. I'm sitting up here like the shit that we had to experience coming up is way different to the stuff they're being exposed to now. But that again is another topic.
So those artists are basically selling their souls. They don't want their own kids
selling it.
But it's okay for them for their other women's children to watch.
Okay, but again, when you in this business of making money, you got to have a careless attitude. But it's just the fact that we can accept whatever we want. They can promote whatever they want. We got to be at a level where we can honestly say, hey, look, that works for you, fine. But I'm not going to allow that to come into my home. I'm not going to allow my kids to know every Cardi B song from start to finish, but they don't know how to complete their homework. No. So it's a whole nother level of understanding.
Yeah, I'm just glad I don't know Kim.
True to themselves. I'm sorry, but Stallion don't have any kids.
Yeah, he's the luckiest man alive.
Mm-hmm. The reality is people are not true to themselves. They don't want to stand out for something positive. People they don't want to go through the struggle. They just want to get there really, really quick. And then we find with these artists, after they get there, then they want to sell us something different instead of going through the struggle and finding their niche. And I'm
gonna say this story. How disconnected we are. When I was coming up as a kid, I would see an uncle, or I would see some things go on, going back and forth to school or around the house. For instance, I had an uncle that smoked cigarettes. And the first thing he would say to me, listen here, young man, don't you ever do this. You had a concern about what you allowed yourself to do, and you want to make sure that they didn't pick up this bad habit. And a lot of other things, even it came down to drinking, the type of, whatever. It can be whatever drugs they might be smoking some weed and say, hey, don't you do this. They tried to instill, there was a part of them to try to really get over to the fact, listen, I know you see me do this, but you had a certain kind of concern and care to say, listen, there are some things out here that you may see me do, some things going on. You don't want to be a part of that. The whole attitude has switched where you're willing to show the worst of society, the worst of life, the worst, they had a song a couple years ago that came out with that lean where they was mixing medication with alcohol and they were drinking it, Oxycontins and, whatever they lean is. I don't know what lean is. And they will put them in the big red cups or put them in those white cups. And all the artists will walk around. You don't know what's in that cup, but when you seen that cup, that's what it's supposed to represent. This medication mixed in with liquor and alcohol. And it would, and that made it cool for the people who will watch the video and say, oh, I want to try this. Not one of those videos, you might see them doing certain things and they looked at the camera and says, listen, don't you guys do this. Little kids, y'all stay away from this. So the whole lack of concern that you can just introduce somebody to something through a video that will destroy their lives. And we accept that. As a Black people, we accept that coming from people that look like us. You don't find no white artist, no Mexican, no European artist that's promoting destruction of their own people. And you got to ask yourself, and you can't, it's simple. Why are we doing this? Because the powers that be said, hey, you want to get the bag, you want to get the check, you keep on. There was a thing back in the day, KRS-One, Public Enemy, they put the kind of positive music that we need. But they said people start to listen to that. start to really take a look at themselves. And then the people who run these big major companies say, whoa, whoa, whoa. No. Start talking about ghetto shit. Start talking about killing each other and shooting each other and, you know, pulling up on your ops. Women, y'all start calling yourself ladies and queens and start calling yourself bitches and hoes. To the point that you don't even see the difference. And do you want to wonder why these kids act the way they do? Take a look at yourself.
Yeah.
So
households.
it sounds like another live coming up. I know you got plenty.
Definitely. We got plenty of time. And I kind of want to talk about this more next live. But one of the things that's really, really hot right now, and I will say this in reference to even this woman throwing poop in her man, husband, whatever face. Jada, these women, we don't know the inside. Let's say Remy Ma. These women have men that are portrayed to be decent men. Papoose held her down 6 years while she was locked up. We've seen Will get ridiculed, embarrassed, laughed at, even been punished by the Oscars for him trying to appease Jada. And for, let's just say, seconds later, because life is a vapor, this woman has nothing else to do but really embarrass this man. And as I'm watching everybody do a reaction to this, I'm really thinking like, you know, in Haiti, they have a thing, you know, everything's about voodoo. You know, y'all don't speak Creole, but it's like everything is like a spirit got in her. Somebody put something on her. I'm wondering what happened here with Jada. Why is it that this woman have children that are at the age where they in tune with social media? Why do they think that this is okay?
And I say again, when there was a lack of family values, you know, I can't feel sorry for Will. I'm sorry, but I can't. At what point did you lose your manhood and your respect from your woman? But you got to question. A lot of Jada's movie showed a ratchet ass woman. She was what's that woman? Our Tiffany Haddish. Jada was Tiffany Haddish back in my time. Every movie she in, she ratchet as fuck. She was chasing after rappers. She was just she was a good girl to kick it with, but she wasn't housewife material. They always said back in my time, you can take you can't make a whole housewife. You know, she good in the bed. She make you feel like all kind of ways, but you better not take her home and put a ring on her finger, because those things that she's true to will show up. Jada never wanted to be in no marriage. She was chasing her bag, and she happened to got a real big fucking Brinks truck bag pull up to her door, and she made sure she locked that nigga down.
Gold bars.
Hey, listen. And again, I want to respect Will enough to say that he, you know, he really trying to uphold this woman. And for whatever it is, he don't want to accept his reality. No. She got you locked into this mindset. Married, once we marry for forever. No. Me personally, if I'm not happy, this ain't got no forever behind it.
I thought after she did it with that young boy, what's his
name? Augustine.
Augustine. I thought she would have been done and figured, let me act my age. But
no, you can't be my woman and fuck one of my kids' friends. There's some levels to this shit that you can't be my woman and you out here fucking the babies. Come on, bro. You it's a wrap. There's no discussion.
She's at the age where she should have learned to do better by now, you know.
No,
And
she's at that age where she's so comfortable because she
Right.
knows she's already, regardless of what happens in life, she secured the bag.
She can get away
So
with
again, you know what? I'm gonna say this because this was said to me in the past. You know, the only thing that keeps you from being your real you is your level of how you live. For instance, there's people that come into money, some real money, and they become something that you never seen before.
Mm,
And then you got to ask yourself, well, that's always been their personality. That's always been in them,
mm.
but they didn't have the finance to really show you their real self. And once you see that, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I even allowed myself to be amongst that book, that mess,
Mm.
you know.
Wow.
And you also got to understand too, there's a lot of relationships out here. The only reason they stay in these relationships because they so far in debt with each other that there is no other way to get out of it unless you're willing to kill this motherfucker and collect the insurance money.
How much debt could you be in that you can't? Well, that's a whole nother
But
show.
I just say
Coming
this.
up on 2 hours, guys. So
Yeah.
I want you guys to come back. Believe me, I do.
I would
This
love.
was
I
really,
will.
really fun.
Listen, I
enjoyed
will.
it.
I want to see these comments. I want to see if anyone's tuned in because I know I probably have said a whole lot and got a lot of people looking for me.
We don't even have much people in the chat. And I think it has to do with the thumbnail. I
Okay.
think the thumbnail should have been a lot better.
No.
And, you know, with the algorithm too, sometimes, even the title, you have to hit the algorithm. But this is just the live show.
Yeah.
You never know how many people will watch it afterwards. But we'll do it again. And YouTube is a slow grind. Better you stay with 2 people and grow with people that you know, like you and enjoy your content than to have a million people which are fly by night. So that's kind of good because we do have people on the show that are watching, and hopefully those that are watching have given this video a like and definitely have shared it. You know, we be consistent. Don't worry about the numbers. Everything will come, okay?
But I want to say this in parting.
Stallion always say, build it and they will grow. And I've learned in YouTube, don't worry about the numbers. And let me share something too. You could say, like on TikTok, a lot of people been saying, Marie, you need to be on TikTok. You need to be on TikTok. So I'm like, I hardly really be on TikTok. Well, my sister and my best friend been really getting on to be on TikTok, do this. So I'm like, okay. Well, I just decided like to start sharing some videos. And the other day I opened my phone and I'm like, am I viral on TikTok? And literally like I gained 2,000 subscribers in less than 48 hours. So
Wow.
never
Wow.
worry about the numbers. Just do what you love and continue. I am one of those women, Chico, if you follow me on Life in Haiti with Marie, I went against all odds there. I could have been one that go in front of the screen. And if I was listening to people, I'd be wearing little bitty shorts, getting in front of the screen, doing the most. But I would never be consistent in that because people's response will freak me out. And I do not want all these freaks on my phone. So I wanted to do something that's authentically me, that I genuinely love, and I could keep up that energy. And this channel, I could keep up the energy. I love it. I thank you. It was a pleasure having you guys on here as a guest, and I look forward to having you guys here more.
Well, I thank you for the invite, and I'm looking forward towards the future. I love the different subject matters and stuff, and as you see, hey, just put it out there, and I'm ready to flow with it. So I appreciate you guys. I wish you guys a beautiful evening. And if nobody told you guys that they love you, I love it, each and every last one of you guys, and I want you to take care of yourself.
Thank you. Same here. You know, I always tell people, give somebody a compliment and tell somebody you love them. So thank you so much, Chico. I send my love to you too. You, your wife, you have a blessed night. Stallion haven't said much. We done took over, and Stallion just like, oh, I'm glad they took over. So next time, Chico, we gonna make him talk. Any last words, Stallion?
No, I think it was a good show. Yeah, maybe good to the thumbnail a little differently, but you know, if Chico can bring that girl on here to get, she can just tell you, be honest.
I want to know what goes on with these women.
That would be.
I want to know what they think like. I want to know what could be going through your mind to turn down a successful, nice, possibly faithful, good husband. I mean, is he abusive? Is he an alcoholic? Does he do drugs on the cool? What is the like? What's the default there that says no? And what is it within you? Before we leave, to earlier when you were talking, you know, recently one of my best friends went through something, and me, Chico, I'm like this, guys. When you go through something, whatever it is, it could be with a friend or an ex-mate, then I'm always doing after like the storm to say, well, could I have done something different? What could I have done different? And what will I do different? What did I learn? And I asked my best friend that, and her response had just like really blew my mind. And if you're watching, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm not going to tell the whole situation, but it was like, what could I have done different? Like, what could it was that spirit of like, I could not have done different. And that is why I think a lot of people go from place to place, relations to relationship, and they are still a horrible person because for some reason they never take a look at themselves. And in order to be a good mate, I want to say, I'm going to become the mate that I want to be. If I want to be somebody that's faithful, then I'm going to be faithful to my man if I want my man to be faithful to me. If I don't want to judge my man, I'm going to allow myself to be loved by a good man instead of looking for a hot body and this and that. And let's just say in Haiti, this man can get into a motorcycle accident and overnight he loses an arm or a leg. And then if I'm just so solely focused on his body structure, then he has no value to me. So it is very true, ladies, as we end the show, that not to be superficial. One of the main things for you guys to learn that watch this from the beginning is that women, you need to be careful of the people you keep in your life as a friend. Some people, guys, are there to watch you intentionally destroy yourself. You may be surprised. You may be friends with people that are single and you are married, and they are jealous of your marriage. And they wish they had your husband. Your husband may be to you a piece of shit, let's just say. But then deep inside, and then you think that, but then they envy that because they don't even have anything at all. And just maybe he may have parts of him that's not so good. But when you decided to marry him, you knew off top that this man wasn't perfect. And nobody is. That's the problem with society. Women, if we think you're just going to find this knight in armor, perfect man, I think you probably don't need to date. Don't date for a while because nobody is perfect. You are going to have to put up with him, maybe not even wanting to put up the toilet seat. Maybe he does it intentionally. Whatever it is, nobody is perfect. Be mindful of who you are friends with. Have control of your emotions. That's one of the biggest issues we have within our community. And I know that stems from roots. A root of a tree have many, many branches, right? So when we go roots, it could go deep and long, right? Black women, we've dealt with so much. I don't think people around the world credit Black women because you deal with the racism. We deal with being teased about our hair. We deal with coming out of broken homes. We deal with not having a man as an example in the house. Now, myself, I want to say thank you, Lord. I had a father, awesome father. I loved my father, so I had a man as an example. But all of that could play a role while you have some insecurities which prevents you from having logical thinking. You need to think logically. You need to think, is this really, really worth these extreme measures I'm taking? And if I love this man, do I really want to hurt him like that? Would I really want, even if I'm like highly upset at my mate, could I really use the restroom and dump some boo-boo on him? Like, that is mind-blowing to me that someone even have them thoughts and actually go along with the thoughts.
It's so despicable, and you gotta be careful what you put in the earth too. Now you did this and you got the world to witness this. So what happens next with you in your life? Maybe they get a divorce and you move on and you get back in a relationship. And the person you tried this silliness with, does something horrific to you. Way past boo-booing and throwing it on each other and all that old nastiness, disgustingness. What if this person kills you and now your kids are without a mother? It's so many different things that can spawn off this kind of mess that she has now opened that door up in her life. Whenever you throw dirt on someone, dirt would eventually be thrown back on you. And again, what door have you opened up that it might be not in her lifetime. It might, I don't know if she has, of course she got a child. Children. Yes. So again, where did that seed get into the earth and now grows? So we got to have better. We got to do better. We got to just, and again, I say to women, a woman's tongue is like a whip on a man's heart. You can say something to a man, I promise you. Ooh. Ooh. But again, like I said, we got to have more discernment. We got to have, I just hope no one watches that video and thinks remotely that was a good idea.
I don't think anyone does. I think that video, for many of us, it taught us what not to do when upset with a man. If you're smart. Now, if you're just as crazy as she is, if not crazier, because I'm pretty sure you got some that's like, yeah, girl, I hate him anyway. I'm about to do that to mine. I'm going to say this too, Chico. Guys, men too, y'all need to, my father have always told me something. He never talked bad about my biological mother, who I met at 36. One of the things he's always shared with me was that he would not give her a chance to be his wife because of her character defects. And he saw it early on, which he removed himself, and not only removed himself, but removed me. And today, after meeting my mother, yada, 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 I'm like, I think I have a deeper love for my father as a man, because as a man, he saw those characteristics early. And not only did he have to get away, but he had to take his child, because this woman could not raise his child, and nor would he create another life with her. And went and had an awesome woman that raised me. And as I say, nobody's perfect, but she was perfect as an example of a mother. Guys, you have to make better decisions in choosing your mates.
What I love about your story, what I love about your story is, as the daughter, you recognize and you have opened yourself up to what type of love that really came from that man you call father and what he was willing to do for you. So I don't know neither of the parties, but I salute your dad for that, because again, to say that I will not, period, allow my child to be witness to this, and for whatever reasons, and it's not my business, but I salute him, because you as a woman really understood now, or whenever that you have that real understanding what it took for him to do what he did. And because of that, that built such a relationship. I salute that, because and that's a whole nother level of understanding.
What's crazy is years later.
Yes.
Now I am an adult, out living life, and I get to meet her and be astute. And I'm like, that is not as crazy as I thought after all. So some of these men, you guys see these characteristics and still refuse to acknowledge it.
You know what it is? And again, this is really, and don't take this in a bad way, I'm telling you, something about that thing you sitting on that we will throw out all reason.
Well, you're gonna take a pot of doo-doo too.
Well, no. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Hey, listen, and that's when.
A whole bowl of doo-doo.
And again,
you ain't got no reason, so don't complain.
Listen,
I shouldn't even spoke on your business.
You know, that's so funny, because I can guarantee you that what you spoke is the truth in that man's life right now. He was so busy with his mindset on one thing, and that other stuff that was coming behind that, he ain't gonna like it.
He was stuck on the beauty, and a lot of the time, you know what? And I'm not taking anything away, ladies. But some of these women that spend so much time on their outer appearance, they are not the prettiest people on the inside. I find some of the most beautiful women get ready in 10 minutes. All right, we ready to go, because it's not what you bring into the table. It's not solely your looks. You dress, you spend a lifetime dressing inside here, not what's on the outside. That's another story, guys. I've kept my peoples 2 hours. Give it we will be back, guys. We got more times. It's late. I thank you, each and every one of you guys who stayed through the live, watched it, and I just want to say thank you. Please share it. Guys, you guys were awesome. I genuinely enjoyed you guys. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And we will do this again. Chico, we'll stay in contact, guys.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night, Stallion. See you guys another time.
All right, guys.
Good night, everyone.
All right.
Take care.
Oh, wow.